remember really how I did this last time, I think. Hello, and welcome to Filling in the Gaps. I'm Darren. Justin is not here today because we're each going to have a go at picking our top games for the winter sale, this 2018 winter sale. Let's get cracking. My first game that I would recommend to you guys is Hellblade. The historic low for Hellblade is $15. It's a game from last year, and it is a great little game to play if you're into kind of fighting games like God of War, heavy on the narrative side, storytelling game. Hellblade is fantastic. It looks good. It's got great music. It's well acted. It's made by an indie developer that has like a AAA kind of look to it. If you don't have Hellblade, I thoroughly recommend it. Next up is a kind of interesting little game. The historic low for this game is $2. It's called Four Last Things. Four Last Things is a kind of cross between Monty Python and Broken Sword, if that makes sense. It's a point-and-click adventure where you go around and you have to commit the 7 deadly sins in order to be absolved of them because you did some crazy things in another parish and they can't forgive you for them. So you got to do them all over again, and then they can forgive you for them here. It's hilarious. All the backgrounds to the story are made by Renaissance art and music. It's really funny. There's a lot of Hieronymus Bosch art in there, and I have a very soft spot for that dude. The next one was a really unexpected one for me. I got it in a bundle, and I didn't think I would like it, but I really, really enjoyed it. I'm not really into pixelated art styles, but there's this game called The Lion's Song. Historical low for this is $6.50. If you see it on sale and you like pixelated, narrative kind of driven games, then this game, it looks at the lives of a bunch of different artists. Some of them are musicians, some of them paint, some of them write, and it's just really weird, just very strange. Don't expect much to happen other than you clicking on things and just watching the story unfold. It's incredible. It was a really interesting and different, unique kind of story. Next one up is Cube Escape Paradox. Cube Escape Paradox is brought to you by the Rusty Lake team. The Cube Escape games are, I think, all for free on mobile platforms. Cube Escape Paradox is the first one that got released on Steam, and the historic low for that is $2. I don't think it's going to go for much less than that, because I think that's actually the base price of the game itself. The first part is actually free, so if you want to check out the first part of Cube Escape Paradox, you'll get that for nothing. If you like what you see, do yourself a favor and download all the apps for free on Android or Apple Store and pay the $2 and get the extra content for the second part of the Paradox series. It's a very strange, weird, like David Lynch kind of universe. Very strange things happen, and if you like escape rooms and puzzles, then you probably already know about this game, to be honest. Another one is a very colourful game called Figment. Figment historic low is $5. Figment is not a game that I usually am into. Figment is very fun. It's almost like a rock opera game where you have to travel through the mind of someone to solve this demon. Kind of is like making nightmares and like really making everyone's lives miserable. You're on a quest and you're kind of like this bum guy that doesn't really want to go. You're the reluctant hero. And you go on the quest, and every time you meet a boss, there's always like a really cool kind of song, and you fight alongside the music of the song. It's really well done. It's a lot of fun. $5, definitely worth it. Next up is Conarium. Conarium is a kind of Lovecraftian Cthulhu game. Walking sim is probably a good tag for this. The historic low is $5.50 for this one. It's really good. Yeah, if you like kind of creepy... It's not outright horror, scary. It's definitely got some very creepy moments in it. Conarium was a kind of a game that I didn't really know if I would enjoy or not. Turns out I did. It's a lot of fun. In the same vein as Conarium is the even more superior Soma. Soma was a game that I refused to play because it looked absolutely terrifying. And I hate horror games. But now I'm starting to realize, actually, maybe I don't hate horror games, because that's a few I've played in a row. And Soma it's terrifying, but it doesn't try and scare you cheaply. It's more of a slow boiling terror that's coming for you, and you know that it's coming. The jump scares are very few and far between, which I appreciated. Soma is, again, really heavy on story. You don't fire a single bullet in the entire game, but that means you got to kind of play a stealth game and get around monsters and stuff. But the story itself is incredible. It's one of the best games I played this year, for sure. Next one is a game that popped up again through a bundle, never heard of it. Among the Sleep, historic low, $3. For $3, it is worth it. If you like the game Master Reboot, it reminded me of that. It also reminded me of a first-person kind of Little Nightmares. It's a story that's told through the eyes of a toddler who is kind of running away from monsters. And yeah, it's just a really interesting story. Very creepy in parts. And it works to the end, to a good conclusion. It's a really good story in the end. And for $3, you cannot really go wrong. Next up is Gorogoa. Gorogoa is a really interesting take on puzzle games where you have to manipulate a painting that's got 4 sections. It's a painting that you can walk around inside. And there's usually some free section so that you can kind of slide the squares around. And so you have to basically get your little boy or man, whoever is in the scene at the time, to the exit and kind of link up parts of the painting that maybe wouldn't have matched before, but you can also zoom in through windows and stuff that will reveal other areas that might help you then match up the painting. It's a weird, surreal kind of game. I'm not actually even 100% sure what the story is about. It seems a very kind of artsy game about life in general and colours, basically. The historic low for Gorogoa is $8.50. A little bit pricey. It's a fairly short game. But if you want a unique experience, then this game is top notch. So next on the list is made by the same company as Gorogoa. It's a game called What Remains of Edith Finch. This was released last year. The historic low for Edith Finch is $10. If you like walking sims and you've not played Edith Finch, you need to do yourself a favor and buy this game and play it. For me, it is the high bar of what a walking sim can be, and to be honest, should be from now on. It's got the most touching and heartbreaking story, and it is just beautiful and bizarre and rich, full of different kinds of characters, and no scene is the same. It's not like the old school walking sims where there's mini games, there's all your usual standard fare of, journals and things to read and things to listen to. But a lot of that is actually told rather than just listening to an audio tape or reading someone's diary. It's done through mini games where you go into that person's life and you get to see that section of their life and why that was important to them. It's amazing. It's fantastic. It's one of my top games of last year for sure. I keep on harping on about this game because I love it so much, is the Talos Principle. If you don't have the Talos Principle yet, then you obviously didn't take my advice from the summer sales, because I mentioned that one there too, and I'm not going to stop talking about it until you buy it. Talos Principle historic low is about $6, depending on your region. It's just an incredible, and it's one of the better games that I played. If you like Portal and Cube and the Turing Test and those types of games, Talos Principle is, well, it's no Portal 2, but it's definitely pretty good. And then here's a game. I seem to always have a game on my list that I want to buy myself that I don't actually have yet. Last time on the summer sale, it was Hellblade. I mentioned that I wanted to play that, but I hadn't actually bought it. And then I did, and that's why I'm telling you, you have to buy that game now. This sale, it's a return to the Obra Dinn. That's $20. It doesn't have an historic low because it's brand new pretty much. But it's being touted as a very Myst-like puzzle adventure. It's got a very unique art style, kind of minimal, but it looks very special. It's brought to you by the guy that did Papers, Please, and it supposedly has a really amazing story where you're kind of like a person who can rewind time and you're investigating the death of this entire crew on this ship. So far, nothing but glowing reviews. It's definitely on my wish list, and if it is on sale, I will be picking it up. In fact, I might even be picking it up if it's not on sale. I don't know how to end that. Happy sales hunting. No, that doesn't sound right. What can I say? Happy bargain hunting. Happy Steam winter sale. Should just add all this in. Have a great sale, everyone, and I'll see you in the summer.
or the next episode.
Oh yeah, of course. Happy. Okay. Happy winter sales, everyone, and I'll see you next episode with Justin. Bye bye.